Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to oh boy, this is a Damn You Hollywood Extra, I believe. We're taking a look at another trailer, something that just dropped today. One of my favorite franchises, by the way. I really do like this franchise. And to tell us all about it, Mark Radulich is here. Sir, you sent out the call. You said, we got to get together and talk about this. What the hell are we talking about tonight?
We're terminating about. We're talking about.
Terminator X!
Oh, Flavor Flav!
You know what? Actually, I think terminating about sounds better. Maybe we should start it over and say that.
We are talking about Terminator Dark Fate, which will be out November 1st, and we'll review it the following week on Damn You Hollywood. We'll do a source material on it, the whole 9 yards, the whole kit and caboodle. Terminator is one of my favorite franchises, too, but let's face it, after the second one, this thing they call Terminator kind of went off a cliff. Now, weirdly enough, it went off a cliff and kept going somehow. Like, I don't know where you go after you go off a cliff. I don't know. But Terminator found it. And after the last one, oh gosh, what was the...
Genesis.
Thank you. After Terminator Genesis, they really just should have just left this thing go. Just started either... If they insist on doing more Terminator movies, either start over again, from the beginning, or just stop doing these.
Yeah.
But, here come the money. So, Paramount Pictures, who's distributing this movie... This is weird, because the production company is listed as Paramount, 20th Century Fox, Skydance, Lightstorm, and Tencent. And the distribution rights in North America are for Paramount, which is its own company, and then internationally, Walt Disney. So technically,
okay.
All hail the mouse.
Yeah, all hail the mouse. This is technically, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator is now a Disney princess.
Okay. I'm going to let that one slide. Hey, before we get head first into this, Alexis Hana, welcome back to the trailer reaction we're going to be doing tonight there. Good to hear from you.
Glad to be here. Admittedly, yeah, I enjoyed the first... You forgot to turn off Amazon Echo again, didn't you, Mark?
No, that was my wife and my child yelling at each other from across the hall.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just heard a female voice in the background.
Hang on. If you want to be on the podcast, speak up.
I don't want to be on the podcast. I'm telling you what's going on.
I didn't hear you.
Your son is crying because I didn't read There's a Monster at the End of this book tonight.
That is a crime.
What
Tell
did you...
her to go back and read it right now.
No good, very bad day.
Okay, so she read the book of the movie that came out that I didn't want to see. Got it.
Yeah.
The terrible, bad Terminator Day, I think is what she said it was.
Seriously, how can you not read the monster at the end of this book? Come on, that's a clap.
Well, hang on. I've read that book to him 800 million times. A couple things you need to know. One, he's had that book read to him a zillion times. Number two, he's not mad that we're not actually reading that book. He's mad that he has to go to bed, and he keeps finding reasons. See, we're smarter than the average bear. He keeps finding reasons to argue so that at the very least he got to stay up arguing. See, that's what this is really about. Jesse knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
This is the old child manipulation.
Notice how I always leave my kids just lay in their bed and stay up till 1 in the morning. I don't care because I have lost that battle.
So, if you ever deign to be blessed with children, Alexis, guess what this is you get to look forward to?
I'll stick with the 4-legged kind that wake me up at 6 o'clock in the morning because the neighbors are slamming their car doors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right. So here's the premise of Dark Fate. More than 2 decades after 20 years, folks. 20 years after Judgment Day, Sarah Connor sets out to protect a young woman named Danny Ramos, who's played by Natalia Reyes, and her friends as a liquid metal Terminator, because we haven't had enough of that shit, played by Gabriel Luna of Ghost Rider fame on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, sent from the future, attempts to terminate them. Get it?
This
terminate them.
It sounds very familiar.
I'm not one to say that a franchise has become creatively bankrupt, but this might be a first for me. I think the Terminator franchise has been beat to death and just needs to stop.
Just curious, did you ever watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles on Fox?
I did. And I think the first season I actually really enjoyed, and then it got way stupid.
Yeah, I enjoyed a good bit of that when it was on. I don't know if I finished it out, but I did think that, for a TV show based around this premise, I mean, I thought it was okay. But we've got to continue to go to the well with... I don't know, man. I heard this is supposed to be the beginning of a trilogy, so be ready. I'm sorry. It's a trend, apparently.
See, the thing with the Sarah Connor Chronicles, I look back at it now and I get to go, oh, so who was the better Sarah Connor, Cersei or Daenerys?
Mm-hmm.
You know who's never seen any of the Terminator movies? My son Jonas. Hey, Jonas. What's going on, buddy? Do you want to talk Terminator movies? Why are you crying?
He's got to go to bed.
No, I'm mad at you.
Oh, he's mad at you now. Oh, yeah.
I know what you said. You said I read that book. Mom, that's a book. No, you're not reading.
I've said that I've read it to you 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, that made me sad.
Oh,
I'm
give
sorry.
that kid a hug and tell him
s-
love him right now.
I'm sorry you're sad. Go get a drink and go to bed. Preferably vodka.
Like-
Huh? I just kissed you
Mark-
goodnight.
No, I'm just going to lie in my bed.
Okay, let me finish what I'm doing here, and I'll come kiss you goodnight in your bed, okay? I'm sure you'll still be up by then.
Mark,
Right.
I know we got a review to do after the trailer react, but if you want to take a few minutes, I got to take care of a few things in the kitchen. So after the trailer react, if you want to take a little time with your son,
Yeah,
that's
fine.
cool. We can take a break and
Yeah.
before we go to the next thing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's a T-800 Model 101, an aging Terminator. An aging Terminator recruited by Sarah to help protect
He's a fucking
Danny.
machine. All right.
Well, technically, he's a machine with organic skin. They established in Genesis. Oh my God, that movie was terrible. But they did establish that since it's organic skin, it
can
does
age.
age.
Yeah.
The skin will age.
Okay,
My
so
apologies. Guess what
does
movie
this...
I haven't seen of this franchise?
With good reason. It was a bad movie.
It's really terrible. So I'm guessing. I guess this movie takes place between the events of Terminator 2 and Terminator Genesis that completely disrupted the timeline.
From what I hear, go ahead, Alexis.
I was saying that's a problem with Genesis is that the timeline has been just complete. Let's face it, the anal fist of the timeline worse than Avengers End did.
Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor, the mother of John Connor, who will become the future leader of the resistance in the war against Skynet. CGI will be applied to recreate Hamilton's facial likeness from 1991 in flashback scenes. Oh, boy!
Okay. De-aging, another trend. So, I heard that Terminator 1, Terminator 2, and this movie are the only canon movies now. So, the rest of the shit is just out the window.
Okay, so 3.
And nothing of any value was lost.
So hang on, let me see if I can piece this together and without getting a nosebleed. So 3, which is the one with Jason Bateman, I think.
No, Jason Bateman not in that movie. Teen Wolf 2, maybe, but not that one.
I think the actor's name is Nick Stahl. He was the guy who played the Yellow Bastard in Sin City.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
all right.
So Nick Stahl. So that's okay. So that's even though the second one's actually called Judgment Day, 3 is the one that shows you Judgment Day. It's the one where basically the events of Terminator 2 pushed it off, but they said that it was essentially a fixed event in time, and that you can push it off, but it inevitably has to come. And so they get to the point where all the nukes get launched, and he's standing in the bunker, and so the first voice you hear is his, and therefore everyone goes, well, yeah, okay, we'll follow you. You're alive. You seem like a good guy. And we go from there. So the next one was actually set within the actual war against the robots, and there's no time travel in that one, if I recall correctly. But like yeah, that's the one where Christian Bale is John Connor, and he yelled at somebody on set, and that was a famous thing for a while.
Yeah.
Isn't it hilarious that we remember nothing about that movie except what happened behind the scenes?
Poor guy was just trying to do his job. He messed up, all right? And then that guy fucking got to go off.
Yes. Terminator, whatever the hell that was, famous for Christian Bale screaming at some poor kid.
I seriously don't remember the title. I remember there's only two things I remember about it. One, Anton Yelchin playing a young Kyle Reese, because I was a big fan of his. May he rest in peace. And the Christian Bale rant. And that's it.
It was Terminator Salvation.
Salvation.
The one before that one was Rise of the Machines.
I went and saw that in theaters, by the way. So, I mean, it was okay. It was all right. But now the next one after that is Genesis, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, which I have not seen. So I don't know anything that happened in that movie.
Okay, so imagine the Terminator franchise is a very nice, very well put together prostitute. Terminator Genesis.
Yeah.
Just
wasn't good.
Use your imagination.
All right.
What it does to this franchise. So they're saying though that Salvation, Genesis, and Rise of the Machine are no longer canon.
We're canon from what I understand. So
Interesting.
Genesis made absolutely no sense anyway, because the idea was they switched Skynet to this new thing called Genesis, which was essentially a cloud that would connect all of your systems and everything. And while I can understand it from a 90s perspective that would sound really cool and a good way for the computer system to hack everything, the way that they described the movie, I'm sitting going, yeah, Steve Jobs already did this. It's really not that impressive sounding anymore. Sorry for the weird sound in the background, by the way. I'm using an Instant Pot.
Okay, what are you making?
Creamy chicken penne with a fire roasted tomato sauce.
If you could do me a favor, if you have any leftovers, put it in an envelope and send it to me.
An envelope, huh?
Yeah.
Make sure it's Go down there to the UPS store.
Yes.
See how well that gets you there.
Put it in a letter envelope, please. In the sixth installment of the Terminator franchise, though, it serves as a direct sequel to the Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day, disregarding all other Terminator works as occurring in alternate timelines. There you go.
Oh, boy. Hey.
Okay,
Hey,
so...
I told you I'm a fan of time travel, right? So I remember watching Terminator 2 and just being blown away. Number one, because obviously fan of time travel. Number two, you had a pretty big kind of twist in that one. But that solidified my love for what we get in these franchises, or these these movies in this franchise. But anyway, it's unfortunate that it's gone so off the beaten path that it's not as it just doesn't feel like it should. It should be up there, and unfortunately it's gone downhill. So let's take a look at the trailer, and see if we have
let's take a look at this horse shit.
Any redemption here.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So to be clear, all that has been established at this point are liquid Terminators. One of which was sent back in time after the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator got blowed up, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So in the first one, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator, the original, fails to kill Sarah Connor. In the second one, the Terminator Protector, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger, got sent back in time, also got melted. And I think all that was no.
Nothing was left.
Nothing was left of that one. I'm confusing the first one and the second one. So so nothing got left of the second one, and now we don't know when or if Judgment Day ever happens, because 3 is no longer
Canon.
Canon. Thank you. Okay, here we go with this happy horse shit. Are you ready for the Def Jam tour? Let me hear you make some noise for Public Enemy.
Oh, Terminator X!
Oh, yeah.
Raise the roof!
Bring the noise. Here we go.
I have no idea if what I said sounded really good or not.
It's fine. I'm guessing you were not a Public Enemy fan.
No, I'm not.
All right, white girl and white boy, here we go.
Hear it. All right.
The
So
long
we've
and
already
winding,
got
the long and winding road.
we've already got kind of some throwbacks. I remember that being something in Terminator 2. The road that we have now. Can I just say I don't think I've seen anything with Gabriel Luna in it before.
Oh, you didn't watch that season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where he was
I
Ghost
did not.
Rider? Okay. Well, apparently, I believe they're doing a Ghost Rider show on Hulu, and I think maybe he's still Ghost Rider.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've heard he's got, from what I've seen online, all the positive reaction so far has been him and, of course, the one arriving in the car now. Tell me, for the love of God, you're ruining this. And there she is.
There's old Sarah.
Now, can I just say I already have issues with like Terminators duplicating themselves somehow? I have an issue with that.
Is it just me, or does the blonde look like Sarah Paulson?
Trying to think of who Sarah Paulson is.
A little bit. She's got the very thin face and the wide eyes.
Yeah. All right, so it's a lot of action sequences here. So the Sarah Paulson look-alike broad. She seems to be a human Terminator hybrid of some sort.
It's kind of.
There he is. There's
There-
our governor.
There's old man Terminator.
Anybody want to talk about how the hell that's happening?
We already went over this. His skin, which is normal
Where did he
human
come
skin,
from?
ages.
Where did he come from?
Oh,
Mark?
good.
Again, timeline, anal fisting.
Well, no.
Last time
hey-
we tried to break this down, Mark said he likes cheese.
Well, hang on a minute. We're not really talking about the trailer here, are we? It doesn't matter. It's just a lot of boom, boom, smack, smash.
Look at that. He's
That
healed
looks
up
cool.
after he got hit.
It's the Terminator as brought to you by the people who did the Batman 66 show.
There is no fate but what we make.
Oh my god, the screenplay written by David Goyer. Boo!
Oh, no. How
Uh-oh.
is that man still finding work?
Oh, I can't wait to shit all over this movie. Okay, so here's my problem with with that now is that we don't have established canon that Terminator skin ages. Like it hasn't. So I guess. And then the other thing.
I want you to explain to me
why
how
he's
the
there.
hell. Yes, how the hell is he there? Why the hell is he hanging out in a cabin, in the woods?
I'm sure.
I understand.
I'm sure it'll get explained that another Terminator was sent back, and this one didn't die or get blowed up, and it aged.
Here's a theory. There's a scene in, I want to say can't remember if it's Salvation or Terminator 3. You got to realize that at a certain point, all the bad movies just really start to blur together.
Yes.
But I remember there was a deleted scene where they were talking about modeling the first T-101, and they had Arnold as this soldier.
That's
And I
Salvation.
remember- Yeah, but I remember laughing about it, though, because they did it, but they didn't have Arnold speaking in his voice. They had Samuel L. Jackson dubbed over him.
What?
Yeah, I swear to God, there's a scene that it's Arnold who is, it's not Arnold as the Terminator, it's just this soldier.
Sounds like
who
a
was
fucking outtake.
Yeah, who was picked to be the model for it. And there's a scene where he's given this little look at it and everything, and this one guy goes, are we married to the voice? And this other guy, in Arnold's voice, says, we'll work on it.
Yeah, I
Gee.
believe
So-
you were referring to Salvation.
That's
So
funny.
is there a possibility then that this Arnold that we see is not actually a Terminator, it's the soldier?
Okay,
Who was-
let me go back to the wiki here. The wiki says he's the T-800 Model 101, an aging Terminator recruited by Sarah to help protect Danny.
Then I give up.
Okay, all right. What? Okay, all right. Well,
Let me read the
I
rest
don't
of the
know.
cast here. Mackenzie Davis is Grace, a soldier-assassin human-machine hybrid sent from the future to protect Danny Ramos from the new advanced Terminator prototype.
It's like
Gabriel Luna as Rev 9, which sounds like a band. An advanced and updated liquid metal Terminator with the ability to split into two separate units. Oh, for fuck's sake. An endoskeleton
and then the
in a
dam
liquid metal
broke,
form.
Mark.
The dam broke. Rev 9 has, of course, been sent to terminate Danny Ramos. Natalie Reyes is Daniela Danny Ramos, a young woman targeted for termination by the new Terminator. Diego Bonita is Miguel Ramos, Daniel's brother. Enrique Arce is an unknown role. Jude Colley as John Connor, the son of Sarah Connor, who is destined to save humanity years in the future from an apocalyptic war against the machines as leader of the Resistance.
Okay, see, we didn't get any of him in there from what I saw, right? Did you guys see him?
Not that I can see, no.
They're probably holding off on showing him until the actual release. I don't see them putting him in the trailer.
Okay.
Here's my last question, and then I think we've beat this to death.
Too late.
So none of the other movies are canon except for 1 and 2 and this one. Where does that leave the Sarah Connor Chronicles? Is that still canon, or is that now out of canon, or an alternate timeline, or what?
I don't believe that it stays canon. Well, here's what this is fandom.com, TerminatorFandom.com.
Mm-hmm.
So these projects were made by companies who bought the rights to the Terminator franchise. There is no connection to people who previously worked on the Terminator movies. Doesn't really go into, like, it doesn't say. C2 Company is one of the production companies of the TV series, and it's the same company who made Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines.
Okay, so it's not canon. I'll just...
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. No longer canon. Sarah Connor Chronicles doesn't count for anything.
So both Cersei and Daenerys both lose.
Yeah.
So it matches up with the Game of Thrones finale. There you go.
There you go. Nothing matters. Here's what I will tell you. Don't go see Terminator Dark Fate. Watch watch Mr. Scientist Man explains the Terminator timeline. It'll be much better and much more hilarious.
Yeah, a lot less expensive. Yeah, well, I think that Terminator 1 was a great movie. And then Terminator 2 just upped that game. Mm-hmm. But it seems like you just continue to go back to that plot over and over. And was it, what did we say it was? It was Salvation that kind of broke that.
Yeah. Salvation was one that just took place in the future.
Which I thought was a pretty novel idea, in my opinion. We wanted to see more of the war.
Well, it started off as a good idea. It was just executed poorly.
Yeah. So, I don't know. This Terminator 3 was that... The way that they did that was they sent a more advanced Terminator back, and just feels like the same thing. They're sending a more advanced Terminator back, and now we have an advanced Terminator guarding the savior of the future, potential savior of the future. And I think really the only wild card in this is probably Linda Hamilton and what her role may be and how she may, and of course aging, woods-bound Terminator.
The Terminator that went into the woods to live deliberately.
Yeah. So I don't think I'll be going to the theater to see this. Really going to take a lot for me to get off my ass and go pay to go see it. So, Alexis, what do you think?
Well, the fans have made their point pretty clear. I sent you guys an article earlier. Fans are outcrying saying, oh my God, let this franchise die. It does kind of, you do kind of sit back and go, how many times can they send something back before Judgment Day? I mean, you're getting pretty tight here on the envelope. How many things can happen before the bombs go off?
Does that envelope have chicken in it?
Chicken penne.
Here's what I have to say, and then I think we're done with this for the evening. It was one said of the Star Wars franchise that it's too limited a universe. There's nothing you can do with it. I don't believe that to be true. I think the Star Wars is as infinite as the Marvel Universe or Star Trek or anything else. It just takes some creative minds, and it takes some brave fans to accept things that don't look like something that came before it in a previous movie. There has to be a bit of patience and acceptance for you to get really something extraordinary in the Star Wars universe. The Terminator universe is fucking dead. It It exists in a 4x4x4 box. It can't go anywhere. There's nothing more you can do with this. Please stop.
I'm not suggesting this because I think this is a bad idea, but what do you guys think about the idea of them just completely rebooting it from square one? No Arnold, no James Cameron, just...
I mean, that's fine. Look, I like the RoboCop remake. I think I'm the only one, but I thought it,
you are.
I thought it was a novel premise and it was executed pretty cool. I never saw the the Total Recall remake, but I've heard it wasn't the worst thing ever. Look, I'm not totally opposed to rebooting things, and if you wanted to reboot the Terminator with kind of like a 5-year movie plan or something like that, like they're doing with Avatar, and don't cock up the timeline, go for it. Let's try this again. But continuing to do this with the same characters from the first two movies, I think was stupid. There's no bravery here. This is chicken shit filmmaking.
I'm curious as to what their plan is. If this is actually a planned trilogy, that's what blows my mind, because I don't know how we're going. This feels like a retread, but now you got to get 2 more movies out of this that are going to actually keep audiences interested and not retreading over everything we've seen before, which may very well be the plan. They may be saying, okay, hey, we're going to revisit, some very familiar territory here in part 1, but then, shit's going to get crazy in part 2 and then part 3, whatever. It's going to take a lot to make somebody interested in it, and actually new developments or whatever in the lore of the Terminator franchise. We'll just see if it happens. I don't know.
Here's the problem. Terminator Genesis, as stupid as shit as that movie was had a budget of around $150 to $160 million. You know what it made box office wise? $440 million.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's all on name alone. Then people were. I mean, that can't be word of mouth, was it?
I don't think so.
There's no fucking way.
Can we just blame the Whovians who wanted to go see Matt Smith in a Terminator movie?
So
I am convinced that a decent amount of that money was from Whovians who were like, the Doctor's going to be in a Terminator movie and they're keeping his role under wraps. He was in that movie for less than 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So here's the thing. As long as James Cameron wants to continue to beat this horse to death, and it sounds like this. Give me a horsey. No, that's more of a goat. And it continues to make money, we're going to continue to get more of these crock of shit movies. And that's really all there needs to be said.
All right. Very good. Mark, you want me to take us out here, or what's your plan?
I definitely want you to take me out with a gun.
But then you won't get the pasta.
Yes, it's in the mail.
Oh,
Check's in the mail.
Oh, you're sending me pasta in the mail? Now I'm happy again.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, we will forego plugs because, this is supposed to be a short episode. So, hey, for Alexis Hannah, Mark Radulich, I'm Jesse Starcher. Go check out the Radulich in Broadcasting Facebook page. Stay up on top of all the great podcasts that we have to offer. Let's get the hell out of here, Mark. Till the next trailer.